Welcome to With All Due Respect. This is Chef, and as always, when listening to our podcast, be sure to subscribe, tell a friend, and also be sure to follow us on all the platforms. Send us a nice donation through Anchor. Show your love, man. You'll get a t-shirt. You get some sweet-ass stickers. Keep fucking with us, man. This is episode 151. Gentlemen?
Well, with the white voice, what up?
5,000 Northside, Florida.
And we got J. Joe on mute coming through.
It's your boy J. Joe. She like to argue, so I sent that chick to law school.
Right on. Okay, so yeah, man. Potted last week. First things first. Any feedback from our first milestone episode 150? Anybody got any?
What's the question again? Like,
Did anybody get feedback from the last episode? I said, did anyone get feedback from the last episode?
Oh, yeah. People liked it. They liked the guests. They liked the guest energy. Cool, we got a lot of pervy guys that listen, so they shot right over to Instagram to see what she looked like. But it's the insides that count, right? The insides?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I guess I heard the same. I got the same shit. Niggas ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit, man.
People like when we talk about erotic shit, though. For some reason, that's what the people be wanting half the time. We got away from that. We need to go back to the.
We need to go back to nasty episodes at least once a month, I guess.
Yeah,
what's a good clip of nasty? I don't know. I mean, I guess once a month. We could talk through it.
We'll talk about it the next production meeting.
Yeah, like the 5 minutes before we get on the pod.
Let the listeners tell us how often they want nasty episodes, spicy conversation episodes.
That's a good poll. We get into that. I know a listener asked me about Meme Monday, and I was like, I don't know, man. Don't bother me.
I'm not the editor over Meme Monday, so that's not on my. What do you call it? It's not on my. That's not my desk. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's not your desk. I get it. It's not your job description. But yeah, they miss it. That's what's up though. But how's everybody been doing, man? How was y'all's past week? You can start with you, Wood.
I think it was good, man. Nothing has happened in the past week. I mean, we potted last week a Wednesday or a Thursday or something. So it's been
a week.
I guess it's been a week, man. Nothing has really changed, man. I mean, really this weekend is really where my activity is gonna happen. I got, we got people coming in town. We're
nice.
Kicking it. We're gonna celebrate this weekend. It's holiday season, man. So me and the old lady, we looked at the calendar. Every weekend until 2022, there is something to do. So
nice.
Just getting ready for that. I mean, not nice at all. Like, I prefer my weekends to be eventless. I can sit at home, eat an edible, watch TV, and on my business. But now I can't do that. I got people coming and events to go to. So
y'all wearing tuxedos and going. I know. Y'all fancy up there.
Nah. The introvert in me just does not want to do this shit.
I could dig it. So no galas, no holiday galas.
Nah, the brothers absolutely have a gala, whatever the fuck it is. But
I feel like there was one.
I don't want to go to. Is it gala or gala, J. Joe? The definitive.
Man, it depends. It goes both ways.
I feel like gala has a regality. There's a regalness. It's royal. I don't know. What's the word? I don't know. Shit. It's that.
Gala.
I feel like niggas be saying gala. Like the niggas that say gala say coach.
You talking to a nigga who says alumni coach.
Fair enough. That's what's up, man. Oh, that sounds good. So are you gonna officially christen? Is this gonna be the bar's first official event or?
Nah, man. The official event, man, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna pub it, you know what I'm saying, and do an event, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not ready for that yet. I want a little bit of furniture in there first. So we probably will not do an official event until unfortunately 2022, but there will be a series of soft launches. So people have seen the bar, the bar is open. I drink at the bar. People who drink it at the bar. People that come in town this weekend will be able to drink at the bar. So it's not anything that's super hush hush or secret. But an official event with like the barbecue grill out, fire pits, and shit like that would probably have to wait until 2022.
That sounds good. So it'll be like flyers and messaging prior to the actual.
That, or it might be speakeasy style. We might do a speakeasy style.
Okay, that works. All right, cool. So, what's been going on with you, 5,000?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling. This is kind of like a awkward time at work because it's the fourth quarter, and it's kind of like a blitz, but it's kind of like a lull in the action right now. So that's good. Looking forward to the holidays. Get a little bit of downtime, and that's it. Pretty much just slow motion.
Right on. And JJ, what's been going on with you, man? How was your past week? Like you had some activities?
I did. I went home. It was like my sister, my cousin birthday. They both turned the big 50, which is weird. I'm like, damn, y'all niggas 50. So they threw a surprise party for my cousin. So that was cool, except my little cousin was in charge of the party games, and they were playing like these bachelorette-ass party games. So the first game was like, they wanted like 2 Gen X's, 2 Boomers, 2 whatever, Gen Z's. And they played the game like, what that mouth do? And both my sister and my mama were both up there.
That's an official game, like Hasbro, or that's like a beta game?
Right. So, it's a fruit by the foot, and they unroll it, and then you have to like eat it without using your hands, and whoever gets it all in their mouth the fastest wins. So yeah, that was cringe, as the young people say, because my sister and my mama came in first and second, and they like high-fived. It was like, it runs in the family, and then I just wanted to leave. So yeah, that was awkward and awful. I looked away during the whole thing. Yeah. But besides that, I had a good time. Besides that little part, and I was able to go to the Saints Titans game. It was that Sunday in Nashville, so that was cool. Those are my 2 favorite teams. People keep asking who I was rooting for. I wasn't. It's like seeing your brothers fight. You just watch them and, hope nobody gets hurt. You just let them duke it out. So it was real cool, man. But the whole trip, so before the trip, I got I felt like a headache. Well, I was getting headaches, and I took some medicine, and usually that makes them go away, but it didn't go away. So I thought I had the COVIDs. Took a COVID test, came back negative, but I kept having this headache. It felt like a little person was in my head, like trying to push my eyeballs out. So after like Googling doctors and shit like that, like what's that? What's the when you type in your WebMD? Everything pointed towards a sinus infection. So I was like, fuck, I didn't even know I had sinuses. Yes, I know everybody has sinuses. It's a joke. Shut up.
Actually, that's actually pretty good. Usually WebMD is like, these are the signs of a stroke.
Right, I'm dying. Right. Yeah.
I remember when they told me I had AIDS.
You're having a stroke.
So yeah, it was real fucked up, because even at the game, it got to the point where your sinus pressure can actually give you a toothache. So like it was actually difficult to eat and chew. But since then, I've got some what's that? What's the shit you use to make meth?
Pseudoephedrine or whatever it is.
Yeah, pseudoephedrine, whatever. So Sudafed. So I'm cool now. So shout out to all y'all that have like sinus issues. This is my first time. I don't know, like y'all live like this. This is crazy.
Oh man,
hopefully I'm one and done.
Terrible sinus problems. Like she always has headaches. That shit seems terrible.
Oh man, God bless y'all.
Pseudoephedrine.
It's not. No, you're reading that wrong.
Pseudoephedrine.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Ain't that what I said?
No,
you just put a different emphasis on a different syllable.
Oh.
It'll say it though.
Emphasis. Okay.
Emphasis.
You put some more on syllable. Right.
I got you.
But yeah, besides that, I'm good, man. What about you, Chef? How's your week been? I know you have a new baby and all. Is she keeping you awake?
Absolutely. I am running on fumes. This baby is adorable and cute as can be, but she got some lungs on her ass, boy. So, we're going through it. I mean, it's like the point where she has to get readjusted and get her own time schedule going, because she'll be asleep all day long, all throughout the day. Like, I had her in the office with me all Sunday watching football, and she didn't make a peep. But hey, boy, when that night come, she a vampire. So
you need some pseudoephedrine.
Tried to rub some little CBD oil on her because I know that.
I'm talking about you, nigga.
No, you.
No, I don't want to. I want to be alert so I could be a help. I mean, I ain't got no breasts and I can't produce no milk, but I try to be as helpful as I can. So
you sound a little congested, brother. So I just want you to.
Oh, you telling me I sound congested? I thought you were saying it because it'll put me to sleep.
Nah, I was talking because you had that cold in your throat.
Oh no, I'm fine.
No, not all the way.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not all the way. Yeah, thanks for.
Hey man, you gotta spit that shit out, man. That shit not good to be in your body, dog.
Leave me alone, nigga. Shut up.
Goddamn.
Come with
Hey, boy.
Moist ass laugh.
Like that. Like, you need to get that shit about you. I get it.
Go get you a neti pot or something. Whatever you gotta do.
I've been good, man. I had my first little work spat today, so that was interesting.
That's good, man. What's been there, like 3 weeks?
Right. Are you about to leave?
Started counting over 3 weeks without an accident.
Right.
I've been there. I've been there since January.
Oh yeah, you did real good. That's your first week.
I did do real good. The thing was this though. So it was like we're doing a project. It's like a high profile project for the CTO of the firm. So it was kind of high pressure. So
Go ahead.
So the girl over our group, she black too, you know what I'm saying? And she just became a director. She's the director of the engagement. So we have a presentation tomorrow for him. And this dude was supposed to put together the presentation. Not a big ask. To slap together some fucking slides. And this nigga didn't have shit. It's like what he literally did was took pictures he found on the internet and pasted it on the motherfucking PowerPoint. So I'm going through his shit. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm sure it's not that bad. I go through this shit like around 9 o'clock last night. I'm like, this is just a bunch of nonsense. So I was up just putting the shit together to make a real story or whatever. Meanwhile, this nigga ain't doing shit. We talk about it the next day, and old girl who's over the thing, she's like, she frustrated. So she like, everybody got to pull their weight, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you've been assigned a task, you know what I'm saying, let's make sure that we deliver, which is a fair ask. She didn't call out motherfuckers' names like I would. She was very diplomatic about it. And this motherfucker goes off like, you're not going to talk to me like that. You're going to watch your tone with me. And I was like, oh, hit dog holler ass little boy. So I was just like, yo. But the shit you did was trash. And I just started going in, I don't be giving a fuck or whatever. But everybody's like, Greg kind of mean. So Chef kind of mean. So we'll see how that goes. But it was like, man, that shit ain't cool, man. You just can't be yelling at black women like that. I don't like that shit. So I took umbrage. But other than that, everything is really good, man. You know what I'm saying? Feeling great. Baby's doing well. Very strong lungs. So we're blessed. But let's get into speaking of being thankful. Thanksgiving is next week. We probably won't pod because it's Thanksgiving. And unlike a lot of you new niggas out here that had to take umbrage with Thanksgiving food and cooking a home meal for your family.
I was gonna put that last.
No.
He's going rogue.
We didn't say that.
He's going rogue. We did give him the flexibility, the creative license. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, he was talking about his baby. He was talking about his baby, right? And I just knew he was gonna segue into the baby. But no, let's talk about Thanksgiving. Like,
relate my baby to the baby? No. Talking about Thanksgiving, dog.
Oh.
Plus, we didn't say that. I'm gonna start snapping when you do that.
No, I'm just saying though. Don't we had like a whole
Right.
thing? It was like, let's add Thanksgiving.
Right.
Right.
You done cuss one nigga out at work. Now you got the
You got
momentum.
one more time to do that shit.
We had like a whole fuck nigga week, like a whole thing to go down, and it was gonna slap Thanksgiving at the end. But if you want to talk about Thanksgiving now, go ahead.
Sit that in your brain, but you didn't. Say
It's a whole printout. Like we read it.
Thanksgiving.
When we said let's add Thanksgiving, you assume we meant like at the beginning.
That's where I put it.
Okay.
That's where it is. Yeah, of course I did.
All right.
The fuck. Anyway.
War on Thanksgiving.
Hey man, Chef said Chef dealing with sleep deprivation right now. He don't give a fuck. This is my. He said this is my show.
It is fuck nigga week. Go ahead.
Right.
That nigga about to go full Steve Harvey. Nigga, this is my show.
Right. God damn. Go ahead.
Anyway, Thanksgiving is this week. Next week.
Motherfucker.
This next week is definitely next week.
Implied motherfucker at the end.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
The motherfucker is silent.
So, Thanksgiving is next week. There's been a lot of talk that motherfuckers ain't fucking with Thanksgiving food, even though that's what you was raised on. Don't like that. But what are y'all niggas doing for Thanksgiving, man? I got plans on deck. Y'all having family in? Do you have a traditional menu? What are your Thanksgiving plans?
Can we go back to your initial point? Because you said like people don't like the Thanksgiving food. Like people don't like the Thanksgiving. Yeah. People don't like the Thanksgiving part either. Like didn't we have the discussion last Thanksgiving? People like, you don't have to spend Thanksgiving with your family, right? Like, go spend it like with your friends. Like, I'd rather spend Thanksgiving with my dog and my neighbor than my mama and my daddy. Like, when did we stop liking the Thanksgiving parts of Thanksgiving? Like, niggas just want to have dinner? Is that what we doing?
They don't want to have real dinner. They want to have like pizza or something. But also, the thing is, I think we've talked about this over the years because it's been a recurring theme of people like saying like motherfuckers they grew up with or their family members, a grandmama, are toxic. So there's like a trend to push away from all that shit. And they're like, I'm not gonna bend to traditions. We're gonna have a pizza party and drink some milkshakes at the crib.
But that's a part of the fucking experience though. Like, even though these motherfuckers are toxic, my uncle might have a fucking drinking problem or a drug problem, or my cousin might have just got out. You're forced to engage with each other as family and hopefully be thankful for each other and forgive each other. That's the whole fucking point of Thanksgiving. Like, I don't understand. I mean, white people aren't having a war on fucking Thanksgiving. Like, white people appreciate, I guess maybe it's their culture why they appreciate it so much.
See, that's the problem. See, you want to fit in with the white man doing. That's what people say.
But white people hate their families too. You're right, but they also grin and bear it.
Right.
They spend time with them.
You can hate your family, but you also should appreciate culture and tradition. Like, some things have to stay the same, right? That's kind of the ties that bind. If you change every fucking thing, every fucking time, there are no ties that bind. Motherfuckers already want to like shred the family, whatever the family structure is now. They don't want to have Thanksgiving. They don't want to fucking do Christmas. They don't want to do Santa Claus. They don't want to do none of that shit. They just want to have dinner the third Thursday in November, and they want to just buy each other shit the third fucking week in December. Like, that's the idea. And that's whack. That's weak.
Yeah, me personally, I love Thanksgiving. It's always been like my favorite holiday because of what it, not the history of it, but more so what it means, like the being together with family, cooking a meal. I feel is like a labor of love sort of thing. So it's a way of expressing love to your family. So I've always appreciated Thanksgiving personally. I always look forward to it. In fact, I'm taking my daughter. We're going to do some community service together. She thinks it's a punishment, but it is not. So it's like, I just think it's a special holiday that we need to, cherish and be mindful of. And I think people moving away from that is sad more than anything, because what do we have at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what matters to us at this point?
Dog, some people just want to see the world burn. Dog. And then what Alfred said on Batman, like niggas don't want they don't want anything to fucking exist and like be a tradition or something that you do every year. Like niggas just don't like shit. Like a motherfucker today said they don't like collard greens and pound cake. Like, wait, what? Like, what did pound cake ever do to anybody?
They don't like pound cake.
Yes.
The fuck?
It was a trifecta of pound cake, peach cobbler, and something else.
Who's this asshole? They don't like banana pudding either?
Not an asshole. He's a good guy, but he was a war on Thanksgiving. It was a war on Thanksgiving.
Good guy and an asshole. I'm saying that's weird to not like pound cake. I saw people posting shit about calling our food slave food. Like you didn't have people, like your people ain't from Alabama or Mississippi or Arkansas and ate all the parts of the pig. Like I think that's our history. Like I wouldn't say let's eat pig ears every Sunday like they did because they had to. But I don't think it's wrong with looking down on, like, with embracing tradition, having something to hold on to and understanding, you know, we eating chitlins. Like, I hate chitlins. Maybe that's not a good example. We eat pig ears because that's all we could get back in the day. We're blessed now. We don't have to buy pig ears, but understanding, like, at one point, this is how we survived. I think it's just a part of our story, and I think that matters. I think niggas be losing that shit.
I mean, I agree with you 100%, 1,000%. My question is, the same motherfuckers who want to cancel certain meals in Thanksgiving are the same motherfuckers who be like, what you eat don't make me shit. Like, let me live my life and let me do what I want to do. But let these niggas eat chitlins. If they want to eat chitlins, let them fucking eat chitlins. If they want to eat pig feet, let them. My mom and daddy love pig feet, chitlins, scrap, all that shit. Let them eat that shit. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Why do you have to have commentary on what other people eat for Thanksgiving? People from Louisiana love fucking, what is it, gumbo, and what's the sausage? Boudin?
Yeah.
And shit. Like, let them eat that.
That's what they eat for Thanksgiving now?
The niggas that I know for Thanksgiving be looking for, like, what? Hey, who got the boudin around here or whatever? I'm like, I don't know. This is Maryland. I don't know. You got to talk to a nigga from Louisiana. We got crabs.
I think it's just about the gathering, though. I mean, well, to me anyway. Like, you could eat whatever as long as everybody's there together, spending time, hanging out, being thankful. Like, It don't really matter what's on the menu.
Right.
That mind. What is on y'all's menus? I need some inspiration.
Man, my mama just went 100% catered this year.
Oh, word? You ain't cooking?
Nobody has to lift a finger. I'm gonna do some gumbo, but nobody has to lift a finger.
Oh, that's cool. It's not bad. What about you, 5,000?
Seafood.
So all
seafood stuffing?
Yeah, just seafood in general. Yeah, but like, so that would be part of like traditional Thanksgiving stuff. No dressing, probably. Maybe I might just make it for myself, but I doubt it.
What about you, JJ?
My Thanksgiving's still TBD, so I'll probably make a pot. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. So I might make greens. I might make some macaroni and cheese. I don't know. Depends what I'm doing.
True. I still got it up in the air too. I'm trying to see if my people are gonna come down or not. So yeah, I need to get some inspiration on what to cook. I don't know whether to go all the way in or just partly in, or just go to my uncle's house and chill with them. We'll see. That's what's up. All right, man. So let's get into it. I wanted to start on a positive note before we got into the dark gristle of the podcast. It is Fuck Nigga Week. That's how we want to do it, right? Like Fuck Nigga Week. I know we were debating on it being Fuck.
Yeah,
Nigga
saying Fuck Niggas Week, I'd probably gives off a different, like.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying now.
Like, you can't see the apostrophe, like, you can't over the audio. Right.
Yeah, because I was thinking of Fuck Niggas Week in terms like St. Valentine's Day or something like that, but it just sounds like a declaration, and we're not declaring fuck niggas. We're referring to the noun of fuck niggas. So we all know who that is. So there's been a week of fuck nigga five shenanigans. I know usually for me on my social media, I dedicate Friday to fuck niggas, but it's been over aggressive in terms of the things that have happened. So we have a list of 6 items that have gone on throughout this past week in relation to fuck nigga activity. You can start at the top of the list with DaBaby versus Danny Lay. DaBaby is a rapper. DaBaby is a fuck nigga. He has been known for a lot of controversy around beating up niggas and killing niggas, and also I guess his most damning evidence of being a homophobe is nearly canceled him, and we talked about it on previous podcasts. But he's also had a baby with Danny Lay. I guess Danny Lay's a singer. She's some sort of singer, and they had a baby together. And apparently he went on Instagram Live to kick her out the crib because he didn't fuck with her no more. That's all I got, man. Like, I know he's a fuck nigga for putting his business. I think it's just weird to put all your business on social media just so tens of hundreds of thousands of people could see your activity. But also, it's just weird to kick your baby mama and baby out your house if y'all live together. It'd be different if y'all was like, co-parenting, but these niggas live together and he kicked her out the crib, so I thought that was strange. What are your thoughts on these actions? Is he a fuck nigga or is he a fuck nigga?
Well, to give a little bit more detail on the story, so apparently, this is her version of the story. They had sex. He came in her. She ordered a Plan B to the house. He didn't like the fact that she ordered a Plan B to the house. So he woke her up and the baby and was like, get out like at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know if there was a pushing match or whatever, but anyway, he got on live. And then while he was on live, it was a barrage of calling her names. Then he was like, yeah, I ain't gonna tell everybody about your family and how fucked up that shit is and how they don't like you, like all types of petty bullshit. Ended up calling her a side chick. You always been a side chick. And then ended up calling the police on her. And at one point she was literally at one point she was literally breastfeeding while he was calling her names. So yeah, 100% fuck nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's proven time and time again that he's a fuck nigga, right? We've seen him punch like a woman fan before because she got too close with the camera. We've seen him cuss out. I mean, not cuss out, but all the shit he done on stage. There's been a couple things that the nigga's done. And he doubled down on his remarks. Like, that nigga's just probably quintessential fuck nigga. But yeah, man, it's real fucked up that I don't know. I guess they don't make niggas the way they used to. Like, even if you don't fuck with her like that and you only look at her as a baby mama type shit, that's still like the mother of your child. Like, at what point are you like, all right, man, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna go in the other room, and just on some mature shit. But to go live and call all types of side chicks and bitches and hoes and dumb and put her family business out there, yeah, nigga, that shit lame.
Yeah, I mean, nigga's a fuck nigga and just an overall bad person. But in 2021, does that fucking matter? You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the fuck said it, but you do what you want when you poppin'. And that's the attitude that a lot of these niggas have. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, your granddaddy, your daddy be like, you should go talk to such and such and such and such. He a good dude, come from good stock, doesn't put his hands on women, knows how to talk to you, you know what I'm saying? Not gonna be an asshole. That was a part of your resume. You know what I'm saying? That was the things that make you a good dude, an upstanding dude in the community. It doesn't exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got a little bit of change, as long as you got some money, you can essentially do whatever the fuck you want to do. If his baby mama leaves because she's tired of it and she's fed up with this nigga for being a fuck nigga, which she should be because he is a fuck nigga and he is a bad person, another chick's just going to come right behind her, knowing what just happened with his baby mama. So what is the incentive socially for niggas to be not fuck niggas. Like back in the day, there was penalties for being a fuck nigga. People didn't want to be fucked up with a fuck nigga. Now you can be a fuck nigga, and it's totally cool. If you got money, you still gonna get hoes. You still gonna get chicks. Niggas is still gonna fuck with you, and niggas is still gonna fucking pay you. So what's the incentive to not be a fuck nigga?
No, because people just want to be famous and have a following and appear to be cool and all of that stuff. So yeah, to your point, it's no penalty or whatever. Like you got a little following or a little clout, people will be all in.
And the crazy thing is, the next woman's gonna think she's different from Danny Lay. I think it was a controversy around her a while back because she was saying like, the baby ain't gonna do me like his baby mamas because I'm light skinned. So she thought she was special. I think most people think they're special nowadays, and unique. They're like and I guess we're all different in the eyes of God, but in terms of just people being people, I mean, shit. People are pretty much, there's different types of people that all fit into certain categories. Like, I don't think people are so different and so special to the point where they shouldn't expect to have some sort of treatment or be treated a particular way if someone's track record shows otherwise. No one's that special. I mean, I think it's just unrealistic to think that way.
Right. I mean, my uncle told me, like, you can't change the stripes on the zebra. You know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga is who he is. You, like to your point, Chef, apparently there was some overlap with his last baby mama. You know what I'm saying? And she kind of jumped in the picture, and she had beef with the other baby mama for whatever reason, and she had the song Yellow Bone. And, you know, it's just kind of one of those things, like, what were you looking for in a man? And I kind of talked about that last week. Like, women aren't looking for real niggas no more. They're looking for niggas who look good on the gram, that can help them look good on the gram, or can pay their bills. And again, that's going to end up biting a lot of women in the butt. Like when you see like these red flags, like we talked about it 2 weeks ago, like you need to pay attention to them shits and don't think you're going to change a nigga, especially a rich nigga. Or an old nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas get set in their ways. They are who they are. So, that goes for men too. I mean, you're probably not going to change her the other way. Like, you know, if she's acted this way her whole life and then you come in and be like, nah, nigga, she ain't going to do me like that. Yeah, she is. She going to do you like that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Give her a little time. So, that's just for everybody, man. Y'all start looking for like good people. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who you want to be with for the rest of your life. I saw a clip on Instagram and they were talking to, like, I call little girls anybody under the age of like 30. And they were just talking about, yeah, whether we're looking for the scammers and the drug dealers. And so the dude that was paying attention was like, I mean, not paying attention, dude that was asking questions, interviewing, like, what about the nigga in college or, that has like a good job? Like, nah, them niggas, like, ain't nobody checking for them niggas. But you don't realize you'll fuck around, get with these scamming niggas, have a baby by him because right now he's flashy and doing whatever the fuck, paying your bills. But eventually the lick runs out, the scam runs out, or the nigga gets caught and ends up going to jail. And now you got a whole scam baby, and what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like them niggas are good with money. Not like niggas are fucking getting IRAs and shit like that. Like, investing that money. No, they buying you clothes and purses and Birkins, and them niggas buying Jordans and rims. And at the end of the day, when that shit run out, what do you have? A fucking scam baby.
Yeah, man. It's
scam baby, I like that.
Social media amplifies bad decisions, bro. Like, we've been at this relationship thing since we were cavemen, you know what I'm saying? And we kind of settled on whatever the fuck we ended up with in the 80s and 90s. This is probably the best way to mitigate risk for us to interact with each other. Some kind of way with social media hit its boom and motherfuckers just tried to reinvent the whole motherfucking wheel. And now we just have motherfucking bedlam. It's just fucking insanity the way niggas is like you said, like I'm checking for the scammers and drug dealers. Like, bitch, you do know that's dangerous, right? Like, you know, you could die, right? You could get your head busted, you could go to jail just for being associated with drug dealers and scammers.
Ultimately, technology is going to be our downfall. And I think it's interesting because I know we all work in tech in varying degrees. But ultimately, because we've used it for the bad and not what it's supposed to really be for, like everything was built with rose-colored glasses, this shit going to destroy everything. Like social media has really put shit on its ass. Like, it shouldn't be this way, but it's this way because people want to be seen, and to 5,000 point, they want to be famous, and they want to be famous for all the wrong reasons.
They were talking about it on Dateline, and the question that the dude asked, the dude who studies Facebook and Instagram and all of this shit, was, would you let your 13-year-old smoke cigarettes? And the overwhelming answer is fucking no. But then he was like, so if you wouldn't let them smoke cigarettes, why would you let them have a social media account? Which is much worse than a cigarette. And he's like, you let them do it now, when you're 40, the cancer is already in you and there's nothing that you can fucking do.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's dark.
But it's the truth. I mean,
it's the truth.
It's the truth. And especially with the kids, again, who don't know the difference between real life and social media. Like, I might have seen or heard something. They're talking about, there's never been another generation there hasn't been a generation who doesn't care about going to hell like this younger generations. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll fuck around and hit people in the head in Walmart and pretend like they didn't, or they call it prank their grandmama into thinking shit, and you know what I'm saying? Just doing anything for attention. Like, nigga, that's not of God. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas just all want to go to hell. Scamming, whatever you have to do, stealing, you know what I'm saying? Whatever needs to be done to get attention. And that's the thing. It's that dopamine hit of every like. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, social media. It's gonna be the end of us all.
Verdict, you a fuck nigga. Next, Zach Stacy versus his baby moms. Now, Zach Stacy, I don't remember him, but he was in the NFL for a few years. He played for the Jets at one point.
Well, he was drafted to the Rams. That's how I remember. Yeah.
Oh, wait, was he a running back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I do remember him then. Okay, so he...
I think he played for Vanderbilt. I think that's what I know. But
that is him. You're right. I remember him now. Oh, fuck that nigga. But he... there was a video that went viral today of him beating his baby mother. Like, so... shit like that I can't really consume for real. I can't consume most bullshit like that. So I think I watched the first few seconds where he swung on her, and I was like, oh no, I can't do it. But apparently it got worse. He like body slammed her and threw her into the baby, one of the baby's little pack and play joints.
Bro, he tossed a grown woman across the room pretty much.
He tossed her across the room?
Yes.
Right. And against the wall, hit the TV, and like what you said, like he basically body slammed her into that little thing that the little kids would walk in.
Yeah.
Right.
Walker.
Yeah, I mean, this was, cut and dry fuck nigginess. Like, domestic abuse is never cool. You know what I'm saying? And this is the second time a nigga doing fuck shit in front of their child. Like, you hit a baby crying, which is, not a baby because, I mean, he's in the little walking play shit. So, he's older than the baby's baby. But, it's just like, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? And then when he walks out, he tells the baby, I love you. You know what I'm saying? It's just some sick niggas out there. And like, I mean, it goes into like a broader point just in domestic violence. And I was talking to one of my friends, and they were just talking about how like shit like this happens, and a lot of times niggas don't speak out about it. You know what I'm saying? Which is, it's kind of weird. Like, if you have a nigga who you know's like beating up his old lady, and then you go eat chicken fingers with the nigga, like, what does that say about you? Type thing. So that's just something to think about. You know what I'm saying? If you got a homeboy who you know is out there like abusing his old lady, like, and you just pretend like it's not going on, man, you're part of the problem. And, you know, like, shit has to happen. I know not everybody, but a lot of people like, man, that's them, don't have nothing to do with me. I don't stick my nose in other people's relationships. But, like, that nigga is a menace and needs help or needs to be locked the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? It's just not cool.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, this, like J-Jo said, is definitely cut and dry, man. There's no, outside of maybe this motherfucker was suffering from CTE, there's nothing to discuss here, bro. Like, in no situation is this excusable. You know what I'm saying? Especially in front of the kids. Even if the kid's not there, it's totally unexcusable. Like, that's just, that nigga needs help, bro. That nigga needs help. And he needs to be under the jail. But to J-Jo's point, man, it's like, we have to do better in not tolerating that shit amongst our peers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of times, like I said, people are like, that's not my business. You know, that's not my place to tell that story. But if we don't do it, it's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? Because the O.J. Simpson thing is overshadowed. You know, the whole O.J. Simpson trial is overshadowed by the fact that it was a race issue. It was probably the initial salvo of the 24-hour news cycle, right? There's all these big stories regarding OJ before we get to the part where the OJ Simpson situation was the default pattern of domestic violence. Like, that's how domestic violence occurs. That's how it escalates, and it ultimately ends in somebody either getting seriously hurt or killed. And that's what happens in a normal neighborhood. What happened with OJ and Nicole is something that happens all over America. But we don't talk about the domestic violence portion and how the police just let that shit, you know, go on. Oh, it's OJ or whatever. And it ultimately ended in somebody dying. But that happens in neighborhoods all across the country where people don't get involved and insert themselves in the situation. And women end up hurt and women end up dying, man. So I would say as men, we definitely have to insert ourselves, but not just men, women as well, man. Like, we can't, especially now that niggas give less of a fuck about their own lives and certainly the lives of other motherfuckers. We definitely have to insert ourselves to ensure that, you know, us as a community is safe, because this shit is not getting no better.
Yeah, I agree. Like, dude was way out of bounds. That shit was crazy. Like, I saw it, and it's one of the things you like, damn, I wish I didn't see that. And it was just like, that shit was just totally uncalled for. Like, words can't even really express how you feel when you watch something like that, because it's like, what's the point of that shit? Like, it's, I don't know. That shit was just stupid all the way around. Have they arrested him yet? Like, because, I mean, it looks like everybody know who it is.
Nah, man. So apparently this shit happened last week, and this nigga's been in hiding for that long. So nah, they haven't found where the niggas hiding. Right?
How do niggas hide from the police in 2021? Like, I just feel like you couldn't hide from the police when I was young.
I mean, what is he hiding from though? This shit is cut and dry. Like, what is there to hide from?
Getting arrested.
Yeah, but I mean, to Wood's point, you can't really hide A, but B, shit is cut and dry. Like, you did it. Not like you trying to preserve your freedom or something. Like, this shit is over with.
You going to jail. Come on out.
And actually, a white girl, like, you going under the jail. Like, they can't wait. But it is confusing because if you have a phone, they should have him by now. Like, did he just toss his phone?
I don't know. Maybe that nigga did the whole, went to like a motel, shaved his head like they do in fucking movies, like tossed the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they always do, or dye their hair and shit like that. Well, white people dye their hair in those movies when they're trying to go dark.
And you did that shit in front of a camera, you dumbass nigga.
Yeah, that was Yeah, I think I was like a security camera, but he needs to go to jail. He needs to get help, but you need to get help in prison though, because that ship done sailed. I mean, I feel like if you have the audacity to beat people, beat a woman, beat a child, abuse anyone who's weaker than you and can't defend themselves, you have something wrong with you internally. So
shit,
I'm
animals
all for
too.
you getting the help you need, but that ship done sailed, bro. Like you went all the way in. You need to pay for that. All right, interesting. So next, Zach Stacy, you're fucking here, but next, Stevie J versus Faith Evans. So this was interesting. So Stevie J, he a producer. Faith Evans, Biggie ex-wife, wonderful singer. They got married like 3 years ago or something.
Man,
like
that was very
misogynistic.
Hold on, that was very misogynistic of you. That when you brought up Faith, you referred to her as Biggie's wife, man, before you said anything about her own accolades. I'm just saying what you said first.
You attached her to the patriarchy.
Right. Way to go.
Well, Biggie's a God MC, and my bad. As soon as I get home, still one of my favorite songs of all time, so I fuck with Faith. Anyway, so they got married. I guess they're always like good friends or some shit. They got married. And apparently they said Stevie J was filing for divorce because he said that Faith was cheating on him. And he also proceeded to record himself going off on her, talking about how he hates her, how he's never going anywhere. You fucking niggas in my own house, fuck you bitches, he said. So all sorts of things, basically, disrespecting her on Instagram or whatever the fuck you record the shit on, for likes and posterity. But I guess they said they was cool because the next thing you know, they was on vacation together, chilling. So here's my thing about y'all, and we said the same thing about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Like, man, niggas getting arguments every day. We don't need to see it. I think niggas be oversharing, man. Like, stop sharing all shit, man.
Yeah, but like those relationships, right? Where you calling your wife a bitch and you ain't shit and I hate you. Like, I mean, when we talk about like toxic relationships, that's what really a toxic relationship is. Even if y'all have sex and make up and like do it, like the fact that you going through those motions, man, like why not be with somebody that is your peace, as they say. Like, I would hate to. Now Stevie J do them good drugs, so we know that, and Faith like that good drink, so they, it might be a Bobby Whitney type thing, but again, just seeing a man just talk to a woman like that, it's just, I don't know, dog. That shit just doesn't sit right with me. Just sitting there calling her a bitch and you ain't shit. Fuck you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga. Like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I didn't grow up with arguing in my house, so I don't like to argue. So whenever I see shit like that, that shit just looks like some dumb shit to me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree 1,000%. And it's just a bad example, bro. Like, kids, goes back to social media again. Kids are seeing, and I get it. You were mad, and the first weapon you looked for was social media. But there are kids, and I don't mean kids like kids under 18. I do, because they're on social media too. But also like young adults, and they see Faith versus Stevie J. They see the baby versus Danny Lay, whatever the fuck her name is. You see fucking Summer Walker's entire fucking album, right? All of this stimulus is an adversarial relationship between men and women, right? There's the only thing you see that's like beautiful right now, hopefully it stays that way, is like Russell Wilson and Sierra. Everybody else's shit is like some tumultuous ass shit, bitch, I hate you, or I'm gonna get this bitch before she get me, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they see. So when that's all you see, that begins to be the lens through which you view a relationship. You go into a relationship already looking for the fucking exit, or already looking to get that motherfucker before he gets you. And then people will turn around and wonder, why the fuck is my relationship's not working out? Bitch, because you got a bad fucking foundation and view of what a relationship is supposed to be. To J. Joe's point, I remember, like, when I got older, my mom and dad were like, yeah, we used to argue, but we made a pact that we would never argue in front of y'all, because that affects fucking children. But now you don't have that. All the fucking safeties are off. All the blinders is off. Niggas can go see your toxic ass portion of your relationship. But also, that's the only portion they see. They only see you blow the fuck up on social media, right? Or that's all they see in the tabloids. They don't see after everybody's calmed down, all right, so how the fuck do we fix this shit? Like the real work that's in a relationship. All right, well, I was tripping, well, you were tripping, people crying, like shit like that. They don't see that part. They just see the tripping, people putting their hands on somebody, people lighting somebody's shit on fire. And that's perpetuating negativity in relationships. The shit's never going to get better if that's the shit that we perpetually see, you know what I'm saying, how men and women are interacting with each other.
Right. I mean, even in the music, like, at least we grew up with, like, love songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even have, like you said, Summer Walker's album ain't nothing but, like, a fuck nigga bad relationship album. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even have love songs, basically. Because you ask them who their R&B, like, favorite R&B people are, it's like Trey Songz and fucking, you know, just fucking music. Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying? It's just a whole bunch of, like, yeah, no feelings, all fucking, but, you know, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for you, I'll fly you out, all this.
Yeah.
All the chicks are talking about, you know, let me sit on it. Why should I give you this pussy? You know, what you gonna pay for? It's just a whole bunch of, like you said, it's just perpetuating bad relationships.
Yeah, it's back to media and social media again. Like that's the heavy influence in undertone.
Yeah, and there's no counter. That's the bad part. Like, you know, motherfuckers don't even go to church no more. You know what I'm saying? At least at that point, you'd have some balance, or maybe some good with your bad. But like I said, you'd have some love songs, some good with your bad, but you don't even have that anymore. You don't, you know, you have some wholesome TV, some good with your bad. You don't have that shit no more. It's all, you know, Real Housewives and First Married at First Sight and 300-Pound Life and all types of just fuck shit. It's nothing that cleanse the palate, and that's what's so fucked up.
And Bobby Brown was probably more toxic than most of these niggas out here, but that nigga still saying some love songs now. He was gonna give you some versatility.
Great love songs.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I don't want to put on my Hotep hat, but it's on now. I have my kufi on, and I'm wondering, because I don't think we see this shit in other cultures, like this incessant anger and vitriol between the sexes.
You mean black or America?
As black, as African Americans, I see it more so among us, at least being portrayed, than we do in other cultures. Like,
I mean,
social media.
Okay, let me put on a Hotep beanie. I ain't gonna put on a whole hat. I mean, there has been a war on black families. I mean, since early civil rights. You know what I'm saying? With
good point.
You know, just with welfare and what's the shit? Planned Parenthood. That I fuck with Planned Parenthood now, but like the inception of Planned Parenthood. Just different things to, you know, anything they could to hold black people down, they did. Fucking crack and put crack in the communities on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of things that they have done that has really broken up like the black household. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree. Nobody else has had to deal with the attack on black people, and that's from all facets: financial, spiritual, you know, how we feel about ourselves, like everything like no other race has had to overcome everything that we have had to overcome. You know what I'm saying? So we have a disparate oh, fuck. Dang, yeah, you know what the fuck I meant. In every fucking facet of our lives.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you, Chef. Yeah, I mean, other people don't have to deal. Other people, you don't see it in other races because other races don't have to deal with your shit.
And I think it goes back to the Thanksgiving thing, right? Black people have a fascination with either eliminating or resetting their culture, our culture. And I think that is rooted in the fact that we were never rooted from our roots to Africa, which were cut off. So we came here and we created another culture. And then the civil rights movement, then the Reconstruction happened, we created another culture. Civil rights movement came, we created another culture, right? So we're comfortable with resetting and changing that fucking culture. But every time we reset, we lose things, right? White women and white men will change, but there's some bridges they won't fucking cross, right? They're going to stick to fucking together no matter what. I don't care what year it is, right? They're going to stick to their fucking culture. Asians absolutely are not fucking changing their fucking culture, nigga. That shit is deep with them. We are what we are, and we are who we are. And they're not going to change that. The relationship between their men and their women are also going to stay the same, because those are the ties that bind. Those are the things that are going to, that's their North Star. Those are the things that are going to help them continue on as a people. But black people have a fascination with, oh, we've been doing that for 50 years. I don't want to do that anymore. I was just listening to the woman who was on social media this week or something saying that she's a professional woman now and she doesn't feel like having a baby by her man, so she was just going to let him have a baby by another woman. Did y'all see that?
That was the girl from Real Housewives. What's her name? Not Tony, Tanya. Sorry with a T.
What did she say?
So basically, she has a husband. She's in a committed relationship, and her husband wants a child. Her husband is older than her. She's getting her shit off. She's doing her career. Good for her, right?
Tammy. That's her name, Tammy.
Tammy. But she's not ready to have a child yet. So she gave him her blessing to procreate with another woman outside of their marriage because she doesn't want to have a baby.
Okay.
And I'm like, maybe I'm just old now. That blows my mind. That doesn't seem wise, and it's totally non-traditional, and maybe that's why I don't agree with it. But I'm like, if that's the family values that we're dealing with now, that is a dissolution of the black family right there. I saw so many people agreeing with that shit. Right? Like, oh yeah, fucking right. Like, girl, go like do your career, whatever. Like, it's all right. Like, hell, people are raising kids that's not theirs anyway. And I'm like, that's bad fucking logic. You know what I'm saying? Just because we live in a toxic environment doesn't mean like, yeah, fuck it, I might as well be toxic. And that's kind of the situation that we're in. We see so much bullshit around us. We just say, fuck it, let's just perpetuate the bullshit or do something totally fucking different until you look up one day and you don't recognize anything. We say, fuck it, we're not doing Christmas anymore. We're not doing Thanksgiving anymore. Fuck it, I don't need a fucking husband. I'm just about to get this fucking money. And the only thing that everybody agrees on is I'm about to get paid for some reason.
Would it be fair to say, in y'all's opinion, that our history has kind of been placated on the ability, well, not even the ability, the necessity to adapt? Like, we've always had to be able to embrace change because coming to America as slaves, getting ripped from your families, creating new families, getting ripped from that family, the constant threats of being killed and threats and having to live secret lives of being educated or knowing things because you might get killed if you know how to read and shit like that. Would you say that having that ability to be adaptable is a part of our DNA? So even if you get to the point where you don't even see there is not really a necessity to change, and certain things that are tradition do have value, it's so ingrained in us to change shit that ain't worth changing because that's just how we are. I had this thought like a couple of weeks ago. I'm a little high.
I mean, I don't know if it's a change thing. I think it's, and I don't know if all of the socialism slaves died or something. All the collective group slaves died, and nothing was left but alphas. But we just have an attitude that the success of the race is secondary to the success of the individual. And
yeah.
And that permeates. I mean, we're about to talk about Young Dolph in a minute. It permeates everything that we do. And I mean, Asians would be like, "Look, I'm trying to get paid myself for my family, but I'm not about to embarrass my people. I'm not about to, you know." I always like juxtapose. I guess I think that's the word. I always compare African Americans to Italians, right? Because we have similar sort of, you know, references across the two, right? And Italians worked hard to get that mafia shit off of them, right? Because it was starting to affect the way that people viewed their entire fucking race. Like, hey man, stop doing mafia movies about us. Like, African organizations that stop doing mafia movies about us. There were programs in the community like, hey man, like, I don't want to be looked at as a Guido or whatever the words are to talk about Italians. I'm not trying to be racist. That's just Greece, whatever they called people that were associated with the mob. Black people have no such attitude where it's like our negative stigmas, we need to work on not perpetuating those outside of our community. We are who we are. We can't change who the fuck we are. And that's not what I'm saying. But at some point in time, we can't keep emphasizing and perpetuating the most negative things about us, because that's what people see. But we're in a situation now where that's what sells, that's what gets people money. So that's the attitude that people adopt, man. And it's not healthy for us collectively as a people at all.
I agree. So that's a good segue into Young Dolph. Rest in peace to Young Dolph. Young Dolph was murdered yesterday in Memphis, his hometown. He never left, and was killed outside of a local cookie shop, which I guess was apparently, side note, was known for being robbed constantly, which is disgusting in and of itself. Like a black-owned business constantly getting robbed by our own people. So, just to your point, Wood, Young Dolph was. I'm not familiar with all his music, honestly, because I have old nigga ears, but I know he owned his own masters, which matters. He was a known staple in the Memphis community. And Memphis is not the coolest place, you know what I'm saying, just from a crime perspective, just culturally. But he stayed there and tried to give to the community and be a bright light there. So, you know, it's obviously a tragedy that he passed, and it was from people, you know, our own people, robbing him. Just people seeing you do well, and I got to get a piece of it. I mean, that's why I gather at this point when I see stuff like this, because what's the other point? What's the full value of it?
Is that what happened? Do we have any information on what happened?
I mean, all we know is that
people just assuming it's a hit. I haven't seen anything that confirm that, but you know, he's been shot at a few times.
Been shot a few times.
Yeah, been shot a few times. So people just feel like it was some kind of ongoing feud or something he was tied up in.
Yeah, but we don't know. All we know is that he was going to get cookies for his mama, and he got shot in broad daylight. And it's just sad. He was 36. Very popular rapper, not just, you know, just amongst fans, but like rappers. So yeah, I went on social media and you could just see like how many people like fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So yesterday I went to like his Spotify whatever page, And I was like, damn, he had songs with just about everybody. So, I mean, you see him posting with E40, Deion Sanders. When Jackson State, I think, won that first game, they would play Dolph in the locker room, and he was there, jumping up and down, dancing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's real sad, and he really touched a lot of lives. When they said he was doing a lot of positive stuff in Memphis, but it's one of those things, like, do you have to, like, love your city from afar? So many of our young rappers get killed in their hometown. So, I mean, the Nipsey Hussles, what's the dude in New Orleans, Young Greatness. It's just countless people that is like, they try to stay home for whatever reason, and it ends up being their demise. So I don't know, man. I think maybe once you get to a certain status, man, maybe you just need to move to fucking Iowa like Chief Keef did, or wherever the hell he is. So when white people see black people getting off the plane, they ask you, like, oh, you here to see Chief Keef? Like, it's only 5 black people there, so you at least get a heads up once black people arrive. Like, I don't know.
But that's so sad, man, because it's like, why can't successful black people from the hood be around their own people, right? And somebody was making a point on Twitter today, like, oh, well, violence is everywhere. Motherfuckers is dying all over the country, you know what I'm saying? Like, Young Dolph is not nothing different than what's going on anywhere. I'm like, thinking to myself, like, nigga, like Garth Brooks, nobody's ever shot at Garth Brooks. Clint Black is still straight, you know what I'm saying? Like, Brooks and Dunn never got shot at, you feel me? Like, even you look at to the extreme, like, look at, like, Osama bin Laden, right? This motherfucker is one of the nastiest, like, worst people to ever walk the earth. But he could walk down the middle of the street in his own hood and nobody would do anything to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Like, nobody's going to touch him. So all of these things all across the fucking world, like, motherfuckers are in their own fucking hood and they can walk down the middle of the street. We're talking about from Osama bin Laden on one side of the spectrum all the way to fucking Garth Brooks. But Young Dolph can't fucking kick it in his hometown of Memphis. And okay, you can say, well, yeah, well, he shouldn't have still been in the hood. The hood shouldn't be in a situation where niggas can't be there, especially if they're from the fucking hood. Shoot at white people. Kyle Rittenhouse is about to get free anyway. Shoot at that motherfucker. George Zimmerman is walking the fucking streets. Shoot at that motherfucker. Stop shooting at each other. Like, the shit doesn't make any sense. And we need to get to a point where it's not like, if you make money, you should leave. Because I'm saying fuck niggas is still in the hood doing whatever. They're going to kill somebody. So it's not okay to say all the successful motherfuckers leave and leave the rest of us here to fucking get shot at by these dumbass niggas. We got to get to a point where motherfuckers value the lives of their neighbors. You feel me? And that's a cultural thing. It may sound racist. It may sound Uncle Tomish or whatever, but it's a cultural thing where we don't give a fuck about our neighbor as much as other cultures. Many other cultures, not all of them. I'm sure there are cultures that